What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I'm well aware you may be watching this video at some point in the future, but at the point of me recording it, we're 3 days away from 1 month fully released domestically in the US, and for Spider-Man No Way Home, that continues to get released internationally and absolutely crush the box office, Marvel and Sony have changed the theatrical release from the one we originally saw in the US, and it's not just a changing to the VFX, but a changing to the cinematography as well. 3 key scenes: Tobey, Andrew's introduction, a Green Goblin scene in the alley as well. We have the side-by-side comparison for each scene for you guys. You can see the difference between what originally was there and what's there now. We're also going to talk about why they would have done this. A big a movie as this is, why in the world would they have changed not just VFX, but the actual framing on shots and this late in the game? I'm going to explain that as well. We're breaking down everything for the major changes to scenes, storyboarding, and VFX in Spider-Man No Way Home after its domestic release in the US. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content here at this channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter eggs, breakdowns, trailers, reports like this, all the way to anonymous 4chan plot leaks, industry insider scoops, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you to win the next PS5 giveaway, which we're headlong into now. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So the reason I was really specific in the prologue about when I'm making and uploading this video is so that no matter when you saw this in the future, you know Marvel and Sony chose to make these changes while Spider-Man is still in its original theatrical release in the US. The reason they're doing this, however, is new international release markets haven't seen the film already. It gives them an opportunity to show them the updated VFX, the slight reframing of scenes, things that could have used a little more work. We're going to actually get access to Spider-Man No Way Home digitally via VOD on February 28th. It is not uncommon for Marvel Studios to change scenes after their original release. Just see the post-credits scene for WandaVision. That was updated months after its official release, instantly on Disney+. Sometimes VFX are just not finished or done the way they exactly want them by the time a movie is released. We've heard this reported multiple times. Here are some of the examples of the changed scenes, specifically starting with this, the Green Goblin scene. There's an actual editing difference in the way the scene is cut. While the voiceover that's the Green Goblin talking to Norman Osborn is exactly the same, the way that it's edited, we see a lot more of Willem Dafoe in the updated version, focusing on him instead of the original one we saw back on December 16th, where there was a bouncing back and forth between him and the helmet to make it, I guess, a little more clear to the audience that it was Green Goblin talking. Either way, you have an awesome actor like Willem Dafoe, you focus on him, and while this is a very slight change, this isn't just VFX. Again, this is cinematography and or video editing, but keeping the integrity of the scene, just slight differences and updates. And again, this was first pointed out just days ago on January 9th on the heels of one of these international releases posted by a Twitter user, Ben This Drink I Like One, who pointed out the differences, but he wasn't the only one. The next one, Mindot, pointed out the differences in the Tobey Maguire entrance scene. And man, guys, there really is no comparison. If this is the kind of updates and upgrades they were going to make, I'm glad they did them. Look at the first shot up above, what we originally saw in theaters with all that smoke covering his face. Look at the skyline in the background, how they framed the shot, how much better he looks in the updated version. You can see all of him in the portal. And again, this really doesn't change the film's integrity at all. It just makes these shots look a little cleaner, a little better. And because they're all going to go into homes that have 4K and soon 8K, 60 frames per second video, yeah, go ahead and make these upgrades. It's not changing the film, and it looks like it's doing a world of good, especially for this frame. Also, for Andrew as well, changes to Andrew's model, updates to how his dimensions look for his shoulders and his torso, and I'm guessing it's not just for these frames. This is going to be a full overgoing slight details to the original theatrical release we saw in the US. Now, is this a big deal? Absolutely not. Actually, this is very common. Marvel does it, everybody does it when they get a chance. Shoot, we even saw Game of Thrones instantly edit out a Starbucks cup that was accidentally left. There is a ton of manpower that goes into the VFX and the CGI for these films, And when you have an opportunity to keep working on them, because they are all digital now, it's just a better product when it's finally released, like we said, at the end of February. Now, there are going to be some purists who think it needs to be picture locked the final time, but if you've ever spent any time behind the camera on that part of the film industry, picture lock never means picture locked. Especially now. Marvel's gone back and updated some of the VFX Disney Plus series, especially like Star Wars. They've already done this in the past, and it's honestly not that big a deal to me, as long as they draw a line in the sand and don't touch the classics. Obviously, it's a slippery slope. We saw what George Lucas chose to do when he maimed the original Star Wars trilogy. That is not something I think Marvel Studios will get in the habit of. Slight changes to VFX though, if it's going to make a better product. The reframing of scenes, the recutting of scenes, when it's not quintessential changes to dialogue, adding in extra shots. Marvel Studios already went on record and said, look, we're not going to get extended versions of movies or director's cuts, because the director's cuts are essentially the final version. They have a respect and integrity for an original version of a film. VFX changes like this, not a big deal to me, but definitely indicative of an industry. All of the reports that we've heard that there are major shortages to the workforce for obvious reasons, and they really run up to the gun, like right up to the moment, to try to get these VFX done before films came out. We obviously had that major delay literally right when Eternals was being released, the same day as the red carpet premiere of the Phase 5 slate. It was moved back, and the reason given by Kevin Feige was a change in production schedule. Now listen, there were a lot of reshoots for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Even Benedict Cumberbatch here recently letting us know that it was being rewritten basically on the spot in quite a bit. That being said, these VFX shots, they take so much time to work on, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a thing where, hey, listen, there's a version that's going to be released. If it's not ready on time with the US, they go ahead and get to that checkpoint, and then they just start manicuring over all the details before a digital release like we'll get again in February, and that's the way it is. And these slight changes, honestly, unless you had a recording, which you shouldn't have, that's illegal, of the film, your memory bank is not going to remember one to another. But we live in a digital age where obviously there are ubiquitously available versions. Shoot, clips of the movie were all over YouTube 2 days before it was released, and so because there's those versions to compare. But if this had been in a purist age, where we wouldn't be able to remember the exact details of what we saw in a theater, a month or two before it's released digitally. And then think about it, back then, there were, maybe even a half a year between a digital release or a DVD release for something. So times have changed quite a bit, obviously. I don't mind these VFX changes at all. I don't think there's many of you here at the channel who do. If you are one of those purists and you're respectful about it and want to have some discourse in the comments, I will talk to you about it. Yes, I do think artists should be held accountable. Yes, I do think artists should stick by their choices. Yes, I do understand artists. I am one, always wanting to go back and make slight changes to things and never being done. I just don't think it's a case of this. I think that there is a checkpoint they hit for the release, and then I think there is an ultimate marker they're going for with VFX. And as long as they don't fundamentally and integrally change scenes and dialogue, I have no problem with it. You guys let me know your comments though down below. I'm sure you will. You always do. Quickly, let's get into that giveaway stuff again before I let you go. All right, we always give away PlayStations at this channel. We have been doing it since it's been a channel. It's been almost a full 4 years. I can't believe. In April of 2022, it'll be a full 4 years. We used to give them out every 50 or 100,000 subscribers. Now, on the way to 1 million, we're giving them away every 20. And, well, lo and behold, we're getting subscribers faster. Hey, who knew? Maybe just give away more PlayStations is the answer. Either way, if you want to be entered to win or for any of the future giveaways, all the same rules will always apply, and they always have at the channel. It's super simple. All you have to do is hit the sub button and be a subscriber here. Then, because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. It's that simple. The best way to keep up with the content, especially in these crazy days of the YouTube algorithm, is to hit the notification bell, specifically with all notifications turned on. And of course, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, man, pretty much anywhere you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking that channel out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.